What would I do if tomorrow I lost my entire law firm and had to start over again from ground zero? That would be awful. I've built my law firm for the past 9.5 years, but you know what? I could do it again, and I know I would be successful at doing so. So if I had to start my law firm over from zero, from ground zero, from scratch, over again, here are the exact steps that I would take. We're talking about your practice areas, your clients, your systems, preparing for growth, how I would do it all over again. All right. If I was starting all over again and had to pick a niche in my practice area, here's what I would focus on. I would know that I cannot try to serve everyone and speak to everyone with my practice. The more narrow your practice is, the faster you are going to get your referrals, the easier marketing is. Now, you can have larger practice areas, right? But you want to do something specific in that area, something that you can be known for as the go-to person for XYZ issue. So let's say you do immigration work. You can do immigration work, great. But within immigration work, maybe there's a certain type of visa that you work on and that you want to be known for these types of visas. And when that issue comes up, people know, like, oh, call Sarah, call John. She does XYZ type of visas. Maybe if it's criminal defense, maybe you do criminal defense, great, but maybe your emphasis is on, marijuana DUIs, especially here in Washington State or wherever you are, but something specific in your greater practice area for you to be known for. If you do family law, maybe it's cases involving adopted children or cases involving surrogacy. Like in every practice area, there is room for you to niche down. You may not know if you're just starting what that niche is. You may need to start in that practice area and kind of figure out what you like, what you don't like, but you want to keep your attention on what do I really enjoy doing? What is something that's unique? What is something that people can remember me by? Okay, because doing just criminal defense, just family law, just immigration, those are good and those will work for you. But if you really niche down within those practice areas and became known as a go-to person for this specific issue in that practice area, that's really going to help you in your marketing and attracting clients and really your growth and trajectory of your law firm. Okay, if I was starting over again from scratch with my law firm, I would make sure I kept it lean. Now, this is what I did when I went out on my own back in 2016. I kept my overhead very, very small. So, for most people, that's going to be like a home office or a virtual setup because that's going to be your lowest cost. And rent is one of your biggest expenses when you're first starting out. However, if I was just starting out, I would still want a brick and mortar office. I had one when I went to law in 2016. I still have one now. We're at my home office today. I kind of do a hybrid schedule, but I still have a brick and mortar. I need to do so. I need to get, even though I have a home office with a door on it and it's got the four walls, like I still need to actually go somewhere to a brick and mortar. I'm much more productive when I'm out of my home at my actual office, but also in my practice, I actually do a lot of in-person work with clients, like with the signings and things like that. So I need a brick and mortar location for that purpose. But if I was just starting out, I want to make sure I kept that cost as low as possible. I would probably try to find a law firm, an attorney in my area that maybe had some extra space and extra office that they could sublease out to me. And the great thing about that is that they probably have some kind of receptionist front desk person that you could probably use, right? Especially for my type of practice, clients are always having to pick up documents or drop off documents, and I'm not always there at the office. And so with my office right now, I have a receptionist. So having someone there at a new place, if I were starting over again, that'd be important for me. That'd be a priority for me in picking my brick and mortar location, is having a receptionist, a front desk person who can be there to, again, give client documents and receive documents from clients without me being there. For tech tools, again, I would keep it very lean. I would not start with any staff at all if I first went out on my own. That's not an expense I would take on. But I would start leveraging tech when I could do so. And just as I did in 2016, when I went out on my own, like I wore all the hats. I did everything in my law firm. I did my own. The only thing I did not do in year one is my taxes. I have always had my CPA do my taxes, but I did my own books, right? I did all the admin work. I did all the legal work. I did the marketing. I did the like I did everything in my law firm, and I would do it that same way if I were to start over again. Also, if I were going out on my own, starting from scratch, I'd make sure I claim my digital space immediately, right? So your website with your domain, my Google My Business account, I would claim my Avo profile. I would not pay for it. I do not recommend paying for Avo. Okay, I say that with a caveat that there could be some practice areas where Avo might be a good place to pay for, especially if you do contingency type work. But if you don't, if you're hourly or flat fee and you don't do contingency work, I just have not found Avo to be the best place to spend your marketing dollars for. If you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of marketing dollars anyways, don't spend it on Avo for most of you. I would start getting client reviews as I did work to kind of build that profile and that presence online. I would claim my social media handles and figure out which social media is best for my practice area. It's going to be different based on your type of practice and what you do, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok or all the options, right? You want to figure out what's best for you. And I would start doing that immediately if I just started from scratch with my own law firm. All right, let's really get into the meat and potatoes of it as far as making money in your law firm. So if I was starting over again and had to get clients in the door, here's what I would do to get clients fast. Okay, we went over your niche, we went over keeping your overhead low, and that's important, but that's not your number one priority. Number one is getting clients in the door. So you're networking and referrals. That is the lifeline of a solo law firm's business. I would be out here meeting everyone and telling everyone what I do and how I can help. I'm an introvert. I told you I'm an ISTJ, but I know that is what has really had the biggest ROI for me in my firm, and maybe the most money is my relationships and who I know and business that has been referred to me. So for my practice areas, I do estate planning and real estate. I'd be out here talking to CPAs, to real estate agents, to mortgage brokers. Those are the first people that I would reach out to grow my network. So, but that's not going to be true for everyone, right? All of you are going to have different practice areas. So in your practice area, there's certain people that are going to be good referrals for you. And so let me know below, like based on your practice area, like who would be a good referral partner for you? Like we don't gatekeep around here. Like let's help each other out. Like there's enough for everyone, right? And so help your fellow solo attorney out as far as if you do family law, if you do criminal, if you do immigration, if you do real estate, like who do you think is going to be a good referral source? Like let me know below in the comments, and so we can help each other out as far as building our businesses. Because I can tell you right now, where my office is, there are so many estate planning attorneys around me. There's a lot. And a lot of them I actually refer certain types of cases to. But none of them are getting in my way of having a successful law firm. And that's a lesson that a lot of you might need to learn as well, that you feel like you're in competition with other attorneys around you. But that's not the case. They're not your competition. Like there's so many clients out there who need your help. There's so many clients out there that want you. We just have to get you in front of them. There's enough clients for everyone. Having other estate planning attorneys around me is not a problem. That does not hurt my business at all. And I know that because I know there's plenty of clients out there, and those clients are coming in to see me and they're driving past those other attorneys to come see me. So the same is true for you as well. We got to figure out how to get you in front of them. So that's where being online, claiming your digital space, and being visible with whatever your content is. If you're writing blogs, if you're making videos, if you're on LinkedIn, like whatever you are doing, we need to figure out for your practice area and whoever your ideal client is, where are they? How do we get you in front of them? Because they're already out there. They're already out there. They're looking for help. They're talking to people. They're looking online trying to get answers to their questions. So, whatever your practice area and niche is, it's going to be your job, if you're starting from scratch and opening your law firm, to put yourself in front of them. And wherever they are, whatever platform or space works for you, you need to double down on that. Whatever is working for you and bringing clients in the door, double down on that. Keep doing that. Stop chasing the new and shiny thing. Keep doing what is working. That's how I would get clients in the door fast if I had to start all over again. Okay, if I was starting all over again, and I would make sure I was building systems in my law firm, even when it's just me and there's nobody helping me. Because just starting out, I would not have a bunch of tech. I would not be paying for a bunch of tech. But I would start documenting how I do things from day one. The smallest of tasks, how I create a client folder, how I scan documents into my files, into my system, case flows, timelines of cases, especially like with my bankruptcy work. Like there's certain things like a checklist timeline of how we do things for chapter 7 to chapter 13. Like I would be documenting all those things as I go, because I would know if I was just starting over that at some point I'm going to need help. And you know what the best thing is when you need help is that you already have a collection of how you do things and manuals and processes for your firms that you can give to somebody and they can hit the ground running. So I would start documenting those processes immediately in my law firm if I was just starting over from scratch. I would also leverage tech and automating things once I had the revenue to do so. The first thing I would do is to streamline my calendar so new clients can book appointments with me easily, to really eliminate the back and forth emails, the back and forth phone calls. It should be easy to schedule with you. I want to make it as easy as possible for new clients. And so having that online calendar where clients can self-book at a date and time that works for them, it automatically sends them reminders and their intake forms and just all those things that it'd be so helpful for you to not have to do. I'd make sure I do that as one of my first priorities in integrating tech into my law firm. All right. So if I was just starting over again from scratch, another thing I would do is make sure I was watching my money. Because yes, you are a lawyer and your business is a law firm, but your number one priority is being a business owner. And that means bringing revenue in the door, right? That is your number one goal with your business. It doesn't matter how great of a lawyer you are if you're not good at running a business. Your business will suffer. Okay, so when money's coming in the door, you want to track it and know where it's coming from. Is it coming from certain referral sources? Are they finding you online in certain places? What kind of cases are making you more money or more profitable than others? You need to know these things again because we're going to double down on the things that are actually working for us in our law firms. And so when it comes to revenue coming in, there's different methods of how you should maintain that. You know, a great method could be profit first for a lot of you. There's actually a version of that for lawyers specifically, Profit First for Lawyers. That's a great book for you to read if you're interested in figuring out kind of how to track the revenue and how to track the spending. It does suggest having like a number of different bank accounts, which is just like not my practice, but I can see that being a really good fit for a lot of you. So read that book if you have not done so yet and you're going out on your own. Also, make sure you are one of your own expenses in your business and that you're paying yourself. Even if it's small at first and you increase it later, like you should not just be taking the scraps of what's left over in your business. Like, no, paying you is one of the expenses of the business. So maybe not in month 1. Like the first month that you go solo, there may not be money to pay you. But month 2 and month 3, yes, you should be getting paid from your law firm. I would expect you to start paying yourself again, month 2, definitely by month 3. But I would say month 2, you should be able to start paying yourself something out of your law firm. And then when you have the revenue coming in, even in those first few months, you know, by month 3 or so, you're going to start investing in the marketing and the systems and the technology that you need to build a better firm, to leverage what you have, to be more profitable. We're not spending money on the new and shiny things. We're spending money very wisely. We're not blowing our money. We are spending smartly on things that are going to propel our business forward. All right. So we have gone over what I would do if I had to start my law firm over again. We talked about your practice areas and your niche, keeping it lean, keeping your overhead small, getting clients in the door, building and nurturing relationships, having your systems, and tracking the money. That is what you need to be doing over and over and over and over again to build your successful solo law firm. So if you're starting a law firm, this is the short list of what you need to be doing. Just again, over and over again. If this was helpful, make sure you push all the buttons, help a girl out. And if you need some more motivation to go out on your own, make sure you check out the recommendations that are listed here for you, the playlist, the next video. We have talked so much at great lengths about how to open and build a successful law firm that works for you and how you want to run your life. So make sure you stick around. This is what you're looking for, and I'll see you in the next one. All right.